is?
LOL WTF.
please.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Mechs on Deck. Today starts a very special month of Artisan April, and we are joined by Mr. Frank from PrimeCaps, Dankly Frank himself, and Mek from Archetype. How are y'all doing?
I'm excellent. Thank you for asking.
Doing well.
How's everyone else out there doing tonight? You guys enjoying the week? It's been a roller coaster one so far.
Definitely. I changed our names on here, Dave, to Dave and Eric because we decided that it's Dave and Eric now.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you guys are going by. Okay. Yeah.
What's that? It would be a shame. I wish I should change my name to Tim.
Tim
Tim and Eric.
Tim and Eric, dude.
Isn't that that's a show, right? That's the
yeah.
The house is
South
free.
Park. South Park guys.
You get Tim and Eric.
Isn't that like the?
Yeah, that was the guys who used to
like
do it's free real estate.
Yeah, it's free real estate.
Yeah.
Come get your house. You have to put the stuff in it. But
the guy who was going like doing like the head explosion thing. You remember that GIF that was so big? Yeah. Anyways.
No, Artisan April. So this was the first time we've done this specifically. Quick backstory. CYO, who is retired artisan maker, but quick claps and horns for CYO because he's the one that thought of this last year, and he is an awesome guy. He set up Quarantine on Deck. So while we were in the thick of at the beginning of quarantine, he was like, let's do something fun. He's like, and he approached us. He was like, I'm going to set everything up. Can we do it on your stream? We're like,
okay.
Sure.
Has it been a year already?
April 8th. So
Holy
tomorrow will
shit.
be the anniversary of that. Yeah. No, you can curse as much as you want. But he hit us up, and it was really fun. But it was also a little rushed because we were trying to get like 11 makers on in a 4-hour time frame. Mm-hmm. And that was the one thing we were like, we'd love to be able to dive deep into everyone a little bit more. And we've had PrimeCaps on before. We've had a couple of people on before for the Wednesday night normal, but it's like, let's stretch it out. And ironically, this guy Mek was like, hey, you had talked about bringing me on. Like, when do you want to do that? And I was like, oh, we'll do it in April. And I was like, wait a minute.
No, you're downplaying that. It was like, oh my God, I have an idea.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was, so if anyone's ever DM'd with me, I don't send long messages. I send multiple short messages.
Yeah. And then I didn't hear from him for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I have an idea. I'll be back.
I always get like, it'll be like 8 o'clock at night, and Dave will just message me, yo, and then start typing the message. And I'm like, why don't you just lead with what you want to say?
It's like
He's just being cordial.
It's an opener. It's I'm
Being
saying
cordial.
hello. It's just got to start. But no, we were like, okay, let's do Artisan April, and then I hit up the first person I hit up was PrimeCaps, because for those who don't know, Frank and I have been good friends and D&D bros for a hot minute.
Gamers.
Gamers. And we know a lot of artisan makers, but we wanted to bring on others or ones that we just don't talk to that much. And I was like, hey, can you help me like set this up again? And got it all set up. So this is week 1. And we've got some cool stuff planned. So I'm excited to talk about casting, especially with you two guys, because you guys both make awesome artisans and you make them vastly different. And I'm excited to get to dive deep into the intricacies of both.
Okay. That's exciting.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. First up, though, we got tradition around here that we need to keep, but we've modified it as a request, as Chewy said, request from many people. So we normally do a fast 4, but we've modified it to a fast 5. Still 4 options, but it'll be a fast 4. And what is up first, Chewy?
We got top 4 favorite switches. What are you putting your sculpts on?
Okay, I'll go first.
You want to go first?
Halo Trues, Creams, Holy Pandas, Zelios.
Boom! Look at that. I'm gonna rip on him just a little bit. He was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to say. We were talking about switches right before.
The ones that I'm typing on right now are Halo Trues, and I use Halo Clears too. I have a new board coming with Holy Pandas, and and the Zeals. It's like a classic.
Yeah, the V2s really did change up the game. So what about you, Mek?
Well, my all-time favorite is definitely the T1. I also like alpacas, bobas, inks, and I've actually been trying out the silk yellows recently. Just stock. I haven't tried, relooping them or anything, and I like them. They're pretty cool. So I would say those are my favorites.
Absolutely.
Nice. I've briefly typed on the silks from just something that Eric threw together, but I haven't like personally tried any. But I trust Eric when he says that they're fantastic right out of the box.
Yeah,
they're silky,
they're
smooth,
solid. Very.
Are they using PET or like Delrin or something like that? What's the secret? Or is it just regular polycarb?
Actually,
I think it's I think they're lubed with 205. It's like they're factory
pre-lubed.
205. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So I have silk blacks in my Osa right now that I'm actually using it at work in my Alice style board, and yeah, they're super good. They're super good. I'm not too keen on the sound in a brass plate, but I think it's more of just like I prefer the way linears sound in palm because I'm so used to that because both my other linear builds are in palm. But yeah, they're super good right out of the box. But yeah, next up will be the things that are not artisans that go on the switches. The keycaps. Your top 4 favorite keycap sets.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good keycap sets. I would say Modern Dolch. I like Serica. I mean, there's some that I've liked that never actually got made, which is unfortunate. I like the coffee one.
Don't name it. You don't need to name it. Don't worry.
Yeah. Just don't even say it. Just don't even say it.
Olivia from Langlandia.
What was that one called? Coffee House? Was that it?
Coffee House, yeah. That's what I remember.
Yeah. I liked Coffee House. I haven't gotten it yet, though. I'm really bad about entering for key sets because I'm always so distracted. And then people are like, do you want to make some for this? And I'm like, man, I wish I had that key set.
It's GMK Decaf is what I remember it being called.
And I guess the last one, let's go with something. I think I liked Polybius a bit. Yeah.
Nice.
So,
what about you?
Mek, what about you?
So for me, I've been messing around with MT3 profile lately, and I love it. I have the Sarika, which I love. It's
Yeah.
probably my top set right now.
Pops.
So the next one's a little bit obscure, but if you go on the KBD fans website, there's a set. I think it was called like Yellow Gentleman or something like that. It's a really stealthy set with just like a couple of novelty caps with it, but it's essentially like a dark gray set with black legend.
Nope.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
having some technical difficulties.
Dark Gray
Just-
Legends. I'll just finish for him. It's a
Stealth.
beautiful
I like that
set.
set.
There he is. All right,
All
we're
right, you're
back.
back.
We're
Honestly,
back.
yes.
We're back. I don't know what happened,
Oh.
but it like froze up. So
But
you
we're good.
just
Gotcha.
said you were describing Yellow Gentleman.
Yellow Gentleman?
You're
Oh,
describing
okay.
Yellow Gentleman.
Yeah, so it's just like a dark gray set with black legends, super simple, and understated, and I just love it because it's not just bright colors blasting you in the face. So as far as like a low key set, I like that one a lot. GM SA Leviathan is probably top favorite.
Yeah, you're an SA guy.
Is that? I mean, I don't love the profile, but SA Leviathan is actually the main reason why me personally got into artisans to begin with. I was
Makes sense.
really inspired to make Leviathan or Kolkraba because of it. So, yeah.
Oh, I have a question. Seeing as how you know a lot about MT3, how are the legends now? Have they like got that all sorted out? We got one of the first MT3 sets. What was it called?
Dev TTY.
Yeah, we got Dev TTY, and the legends on it were suboptimal.
Yeah, so Dev TTY is a little bit suboptimal. I think Sarika's better, doing like a side by side comparison. However, I know that the newer sets that they're releasing, they've gone with, if I'm not mistaken, it's double shot ABS, and those are supposed to be quite a bit better.
There it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, finally.
That's my dream. That's honestly my dream. Like I was like, I just don't like die sub for some reason. I don't know what it is about it. I guess
Yeah,
sweet
it's
spot.
not great, but I personally prefer PBT sets. I just like
You like
the way
the
that they
plastic
sound.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Dark too.
PBT is a better plastic overall, I think, than ABS.
yeah, I think so. I think it's a little bit more fragile than ABS, but
More prone to warping too, at least.
yeah.
I remember my space bars from EPBT, black on white.
dude,
Yep.
It's like
Bananas.
they were.
dude.
Oh,
Yeah, literally,
so
man, it was-
bad.
I mean, that was a while back. They fixed since then. EPBD's gotten a lot better, but like that because they were so worried about fixing the legends on that one that they were like they shipped and they were like shift keys and all the space bars were all jacked up. It was. I mean, that was the Wild West. 2018 really was the Wild West of keyboards.
It didn't feel
like
like, it at the
whack-a-mole.
time. Now it
Yeah.
is. Now you
Now
look
it's-
back and you're like, oh man, everything was so tiny back then. At the time, we were like, man, this is crazy. There's so much stuff happening.
Dude,
But-
2015. I wish you were there. It was. That was like back when the Mech Keys Discord first started up in like 2016, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. What you got? What's the next one?
So the next one is top 4 favorite keyboards.
Oh well, I obviously know it's the Baka, right? Let's just be real here.
There we go.
Pandering a little bit. I can like.
Everyone, Baka, I like
If you want
the.
to send me one, it could be my favorite. Just letting you know.
I'll post
I've yet
sexy
to
on
try
the
it,
beach with
so-
it, Chewy.
Like, come on, man! Like, I'll just hit you up in your Instagram DMs and ask you for free stuff, and then I'll send
I don't
you
check DMs.
No one,
Probably missed it.
no artisan maker has ever dealt with asking for free stuff on
Right.
Instagram.
No,
I
only if you
yeah, I
have
like
8
the-
followers.
Oh yeah, you gotta have at least at least 8. Then people know you're for real.
And not following the account you're DMing. That's a
Yeah.
pivotal.
And one of them
portion
can't be your mom.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm kidding. But I like the Cahal. I really like the little potentiometer that they put on there.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know if it's a potentiometer. It's was it? Anyways, what else? I like the MXSS, even though that's an old board. I was waiting for that for a long time, and I like all the effort that MX Blue put into that keyboard. What would be my final one? I got a sweet spot for a Real Force High Pro with the sliders, with like the proper Real Force sliders, or not sliders, sorry, with the proper Real Force. What would you call them? Like guides underneath the keys? Have you seen those before?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's my top 4.
I'm looking up the Cahal. I can't.
That's the one that's got the weight is cool looking because it's got the microscope on the weight.
Okay, that's a microscope. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
It's weird that I'm looking at the interest check and none of the first pictures show the weight. And then you have to go down and then someone else posts a picture of the weight. So, but okay, well it's him posting a like sort of maybe a teaser. I don't know. Mek, what about you?
So a couple of these I don't have yet, but I have a certain amount of experience with them, and I do plan on getting them. But I would say, even though I'm not a huge fan of 75%, I think the Evolve by Nathan is one of the most unique keyboards I've laid my eyes on. I like the Chimera. The Polaris is really my daily driver. Vega, and then also the Iron 165. So I tend to kind of hang around that 60-65% range.
Nice. Dude, yeah. I feel like everything Nathan does is just like really freaking cool. Like,
Yeah.
he just does some like awesome stuff, and he's a good dude.
He's got a good style.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Makes me feel again.
So next up will be your top 4 favorite sculpts that are not yours.
Well, I got an easy one because it's the egg face from. I mean, that was. I love that key, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to do that collab so bad. It's because it was just it's just a perfect. That key can make you feel anything, and like that's kind of the essence of it. Hungerworks Studio Hunger Key is a technical masterpiece that was far beyond its time. That was like a pioneering key. I don't think I've still yet to see something of its equivalency. So that was a big one.
There you go. Hungerworks is going to be on later this month.
Yeah, everyone come see Hungerworks. I like the Type Beast. That was one just for the aesthetics. I think it captured a period of time in feeling more precisely than I'd seen before in a keycap. And what would be my final one? I guess I like, from the old days, I like Keywalks. And that's from Booper. That was like, we were hype on those back in the day. Yeah. It's my list.
It's a good list.
That is a good list.
Solid list.
What about you, Mek?
So for me, I tend to like some of the simpler stuff. I'm really into keybees. I think it's pretty cool how you can do so much with such a blank canvas. Astro Boy is probably my top favorite sculpt from DC Caps. Really love Watchers by Ritual Master, and then just for sheer sculpting technicality, Pain by Brew Caps is it hurts me. It's
Can you imagine trying to do shots on that one?
Right. Yeah, that's
I had a feeling that we were going to talk about that cap at some point. That one just looks like arthritis.
It's because everyone else can feel the pain.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. No, it's kind of crazy because you look at the cap and you're like, oh wow, that's really impressive. Like just the insane amount of details. And then you look at his blog post where he's kind of documenting the steps, and you notice he has like coins next to it, and you really start to realize just how small it is, and that blows your mind. And then you get the cap in person, and then that's like a third time that your mind is blown. So it's a multi-dimensional mind fuck, basically.
Yeah, it's neat to see a cut through too. You don't see that often.
Yeah.
It's more of a difficult thing to work around in the molding process. To actually like wrap your head around how to do that successfully and have the flashing work out in a way that doesn't wreck the key is a challenge in itself. Most people's brains don't even work that way. When you start getting into molding and stuff, you really gotta have a way of thinking in order to be able to like conceptualize it in 3 dimensions, which takes a lot of skill.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know Mech.
It's a learning process. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy.
This is like,
Yep, I'm like,
we're here to learn, and I hope that we can teach all of you can learn something too. So, and last up, something that's not about artisans or keyboards, top 4 favorite foods.
I like Korean barbecue. It's a difficult one because I like mostly all food, and I'm not super specific. Vitamin rich gruel. No. Let me see here. I'd eat. I like barbecue. So like a hamburger, like a nice hamburger, and what else do I like? Udon. Yeah.
Okay.
Tempura. Sure, that's enough, right?
there you go. What about you, Mech?
So for me, my all-time favorite is probably like a good fried sandwich. Can't go wrong.
Say fried chicken
Like
sandwich?
no, pesto chicken.
Pesto chicken. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. I like my pesto.
You grow it?
Yes.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
I like a lot of Italian food. So like, lasagna, Parmesan, or chicken Parmigiana, stuff like that. Good burger.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have In-N-Out out here, obviously. I don't think you guys do, right?
No, we do.
People, I saw. a
We
skit about
do
In-N-Out.
in Dallas because they made this big fucking deal about it coming out here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was like what, 8 or 9 years ago now, when that was
Something like that. I think it was like the summer after. It was like the summer of 2011.
Yeah,
when
it was
it
like this
came out.
huge deal, and I was like, but we still have Whataburger.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's in it like a Western version of Whataburger.
I think they're very different.
I haven't had Whataburger, so.
Whataburger's like a traditional, like greasy burger, right? I think of it in 2 ways.
Like
if
a
I'm-
drive-in burger.
Yeah, if I want to get like a greasy burger, and I want to like get the maximum impact, I'm gonna go to Whataburger. But if I want a burger, but I don't want to feel like I need to take a nap after, I'll go to In-N-Out. Because it's like,
Gotcha.
it's a little bit, it feels like it's not as bad for me, even though it's still probably terrible for me. So,
Take this burger over this burger. I'm just not like, I really like Sonic burgers. So like, and there's not really an In-N-Out like convenient to me where I live. So it's like, but there's like 3 Whataburgers I can walk to. So, but yeah, that's, but I think Five Guys is the big one for me though. Like I'll go there before most.
I only hear stories about all these places, and we don't have any of those up here. Like, oh, you don't want to go to Tim Hortons and eat a donut? And I'm like, no.
It's funny. Oh, and also, big shout out to Taco Bell. I can't forget Taco Bell. We have parties about once a month in our Discord where we all kind of get together and play Pummel Party and show off our Taco Bell hauls. So
Taco Bell's lit.
Did you guys all meet up together for the morning after and talk about how sick you feel?
yes. There's a lot of
Porcelain
shit
meetup.
emojis and yeah.
No, like Eric literally got my wife a Taco Bell hoodie or a sweatshirt.
Nice.
Oh hell yeah!
It's like one of her
That's
favorite
awesome.
sweatshirts.
Taco Bell is good, honestly. When
It hits. It hits.
That's
If
another
you
one
guys
where
want tips and advice, let me know. I know some secrets. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they have like an amazing vegetarian menu. And Dee Dee, if you're in here, fuck off because Dee Dee doesn't like Taco Bell.
What?
So get the fuck out of here, Dee Dee.
Dude,
Bye.
If you
Speaking of
order a
Dee Dee, you should-
quesadilla, if you order a quesadilla from Taco Bell, if you ask them to make it well done, it will be objectively about 30% more tasty. Just so you know.
Noted.
Interesting.
I'm gonna have to try
Yeah.
that next time. You at least have a Taco Bell.
These are
right,
facts.
Frank?
No, we don't.
Oh my god.
What, you don't want donuts at Tim Hortons?
but you can get poutine at McDonald's.
Oh, you eat some Putin. Did you eat the beaver Putin?
Oh my gosh.
Dude, yeah.
Sorry, no, we don't have beaver poutine, but
I feel like
they're
that
trying to get.
that would be interesting. I don't think like that'd be very good. Beaver meat.
I don't know. It's just pretty. It's a rodent, right? So I don't
Yeah.
know how good is. I've never tried rodent before.
I mean, I was roasting a nice rat the other day, and it was just
Oh my god!
brought out the.
Wait, are we playing D&D again?
So we can
survive.
talk about that later. So guys, really quick shout out to our awesome sponsors and partners of this stream. We've got Omnitypes, Canon Keys, Kinetic Labs, and Project Keyboards, as well as Zap Cables, Type B, Smith & Root, and 3D Keys. So we will hear more from them later. But I want to talk about PrimeCaps and Archetype. PrimeCaps, this is Frank. He is one half of PrimeCaps, Lisa being the other half and the better looking half. Sorry, Frank. You kind of look like me,
I
but like a
accept
better
that.
version of me. So like
I accept the reality of my situation. Lisa's in the other room. She's in the chat right now, I think.
So, but you guys have probably seen some of the PrimeCaps notable, such as the Albumin, as well as the Lerv and the now Lervana, which we'll talk more about. And then Archetype, a little bit new and up and coming. We had one of the funnier April Fool's caps that we saw this year with I can't remember, the Pepe Craba.
Pepe Hulk.
Pepe Hulk, but also the Colcraba and the Zed, which is one of the most unique and coolest little artisans I've seen come out this year. So, guys, give it up for PrimeCaps and Archetype. Get those horns
you.
out. Welcome
Thank you very
to
much,
Mech
guys.
on Deck. So,
I might do a deep field Kokraba one day.
ooh,
One
Yeah.
day.
One day.
I'd be into
I need to
it.
send you some new
don't
molds.
tempt us.
Yeah, man. No, we wanted to do that for like a year, but we're always so busy.
I know. I'm like, yeah, I'll send those molds eventually.
But yeah, no, I'll tell you right now, making keycaps is not the healthiest thing to do. So yeah. I'm like always so haggard now.
Mhm.
Just from I don't know. You know how it is. How you getting that yet, Ark? Or Mech, sorry?
Well, so I actually quit my job at the beginning of the year to do Archetype
Congrats.
full time. Thank
Congrats.
you. And I thought it was going to get easier. I was like, hell yeah, I'm not going to be fucking tired 24/7. And then now I'm like, oh, it's like 5 a.m. Let's maybe sleep. Sleep would probably be good. So, yeah, it's tiring, but it's it's a labor of
It
love.
takes dedication, yeah. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't really see it. They just see the cap at the end, right? And they're like, oh,
and they're like, that's shit.
well,
No, I'm kidding.
I mean, we've all been there. But yeah, you see like there's like 100 hours in sculpting, and then like I don't know, you've got a prototype, and that takes I don't know, it's many hours. But yeah, pretty much we just work all the time now. It's
My favorite from the D&D days is we'd play guys who don't know, chat versus everything, by the way, is something that Dankly Frank runs. with Grindbox, who they run a weekly Saturday night Dungeons and Dragons game where chat is a character. It's really cool. I've been on it a few times. Honestly, I really suggest you guys check it out. It's been a lot of fun. I probably should make
Keyboards.
another. I need to make appearance soon.
Yeah, it's keyboards and Dungeons and Dragons. So if you want to like just hang out with the community and play some role-playing games, it can be fun. And Grindbox has an amazing voice, and he's great at DMing.
He's
so
an amazing DM, and it's getting better and better. You guys got the audio cues now, which has gotten. It's been so much fun.
I gotta put text to speech in. I keep forgetting to do that so that people can like blurt shit out.
So obnoxious.
Dude, then you start getting all the texts that are just like someone's spamming a number, or they freak it out. They freak it out to where it's just like
for like 10 minutes.
Dude, it's
I
great.
love it.
And then you have to
I
skip
love
it.
it, but you can see lots of cool stuff. He also does lots of giveaways on that one as well. So if you want to get some cool caps too, those are always fun to do. But my favorite part when we played D&D though, like a year or two ago, is you'd be like, yeah, don't worry guys, like we'll be playing, but I gotta finish up like something in the middle. You just hear you're like, sorry, guys.
Hold that thought for 30
You're like
seconds.
in the middle of battle and be like, hold on, I'll be right back. And you just hear this loud screeching noise in the back.
Pneumatics, man. We take for granted how handy pneumatics are, but we use it like, I'm sure you're the same, Mech, but it's just pneumatics all day long. It's just like air constantly. We use a lot of compressed air.
It still gets me. It'll just
Does it?
be on in the back. Sometimes.
I use noise canceling headphones now, and it's helped a lot. Yeah, I would highly recommend them if you haven't picked up a pair already. It's like it'll change your life. It's like if you get a good pair of noise canceling headphones, it'll eliminate 70% of the noise in the studio, especially if you're in a tight space. Yeah.
So
Well, that and you could like listen to a podcast or something.
Yeah.
True.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
True. So I'm interested because we've heard from PrimeCaps before about how him and Lisa got into the Artisan game, but how did you get into the Artisan game? And then for PrimeCaps, what is the last year been like? Crazy, and the craziness that was quarantine, lockdown, and everything.
Go ahead, Mech. You can start.
Yeah. So I talked about it a little bit, but initially when I first saw the SA Leviathan set, I was just super inspired and wanted to do something, nautical to go along with it. However, so Archetype started off as sort of an experiment between, it was me, my brother, and a mutual friend of ours. So we started off with Kolkraba, and then it just kind of took off from there. And since then, I've also brought on my wife as a huge part of the team as well. So I am 1/4 of Archetype, and yeah, I mean that's basically how we got started.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And Frank, maybe a quick reminder of how you got. When did you get? Because you've been in the hobby for a hot minute.
Yeah, we're still like a mom and pop kind of deal. It's just me and Lisa. We started back in 2015. Yeah, I know, right? And so, and then we, and it's been a big learning process for us. Honestly, the community is the best community we've ever found. We've made so many good friends on here, and we've seen so many lives benefited by it that I love it. And so, yeah, it's been an honor to be a part of it. The last year, I mean, for us hasn't really changed much in regards to the quarantine because I don't get to leave the house. I have to make keys. So yeah, I spend a lot of time, just kind of working on the processes and trying to improve things where we can. And we've got some new keys ready for release. And thanks everyone for your support on the Boomins over the last year. It's been really, really great. We've had a huge blast making all the different designs, and now we just had our big B1000 sale, which will keep us busy for the next couple months, I think. Yeah, and that's an all metal core booming. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Super
I
cool.
want to talk because you guys do very different processes to reach an end goal. So I want to talk to Frank first about what is like this. You can go as in technical as you want, or you can keep it simple. With what is the process from I have an idea for a sculpt to making an artisan cap, and then I want to go through the differences between Archetype and that, because I know that you guys have two vastly different approaches, but you both create amazing caps.
Revisions, and we do all hand sculpted work, and it goes through multiple revisions, and we make save states along the way so that you can like fall back on them. Usually it starts from an idea. The idea is drawn out, and then you kind of plan out the balance and flow of it. Then you put it into clay, and then you refine the idea, you embellish it. Then that goes into molding. You do your molding. Sorry, I've been talking all day, so I'm kind of losing my voice. You do your molding, and from molding, you do your prototyping. From there, you do molding. Then you do testing, and then based on how your test comes out, you either go back to one of your save states, or you continue forward from there. Right. So that's kind of like the workflow for it. Yeah, I'd say that covers it.
Yeah, and for us, the process itself of the physical process of making the cap is not too different from what what PrimeCaps does. I think ideation might be a little bit different, and obviously the medium. We primarily just work with 3D software to come up with the sculpts. But yeah, it always starts with ideation and sketches. We'll kind of just come up with a concept and work it out first in your head, then on paper usually, and from there we'll take it to ZBrush, or for example, like Thump was not done in ZBrush; it was done in CAD software. But yeah, from there we'll essentially 3D print a master. So Frank would have a a clay master. We would have a 3D printed master. And then from there, we would essentially cast a sort of like a new master, and then that would either get refined, polished, what have you, and then molded from there, and then onto production. All the steps are there as well, in terms of testing, going back, iterating, going back.
It's the same thing.
Sometimes you'll have an idea on the screen. Yeah, it's really similar. You think something might work, in software, and then you print it out, and that works too, because 3D printing is magic. But you try to cast it, and it just it's a complete failure. So you'll have to go back and kind of rethink things, and just push forward.
Pinch points.
Yeah.
Molding can be really frustrating if you have pinch points, which you learn quickly.
What is a pinch point?
So a pinch point is where there's like kind of like a crevice on a sculpture where there's an overhang, and when you mold it, silicone will go in there, and then when you take it out, it tears out the silicone.
Yeah. Yeah, like actually with Zed, for example, the area like right in the nose, that's a problematic point for us, where we'll have to go through molds or refine things. Obviously there's not much we can do with the sculpt itself to get over that, so it's just kind of a loss that we take, but
it's just part of it.
Yeah. Just
it is.
throw
I
it
mean,
out, make a new
sometimes
mold.
it happens. Like some designs are doomed.
Yeah.
If you can get a couple, then great. If not,
Well, it's always a learning experience, and that's part of the journey as an artist, is to make those mistakes in some cases. Not all the time, hopefully.
I think it's interesting because we see a lot of artisans make that. They have all these old casts, right? They have this, and then it's like, now I got my new one, and now that I've learned everything from what I've done with the first 2 or 3 molds, now I've got this one, and then I've got these, and then I've got this one, and it's like it's kind of like I'm trying to think of what I can relate it to. I know I can, but there's like an art. Like, I mean, even when an artist will look at something, like we even Mechs on Deck, we'll look at a stream 2 years ago. That was garbage. It's like, I'm sure it was fine for the time. I'm sure we enjoyed it at the time. But as you get better at anything, you think worse of yourself. You're more critical on yourself because you're like, oh, now that I know this. So
Dude, I'm so bad about that. I'm like that immediately. Like, I'll make something and immediately be like that. It's like I have to like. It's crazy, man. I have to go. That's part of the reason why I produce quickly, right? Is it's like I just like get tired of my work. Like, I'm always trying to like push it forward in that regard, to keep the ball moving in a way. I don't know. You probably know how it is, Mac.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. You know, especially when you're, you know, spending hours and hours and hours working on a particular release, for example. You know, it looks just like one release on, you know, the consumer end or the collector end, but you know, we're spending so much time with these caps. It's really easy to kind of get tired of it. So one thing we've actually been experimenting with a lot recently, Zed is a good example, and then also the Milo caps are a good example of that as well. We've been toying with sort of manipulating the sculpts to fit, like if we're doing a GMK set, to fit with the set much better. Like if you look at the original Milo sculpt, it's just kind of like a plain cybernetic monkey, but then for the soju collab, we gave him kind of a drunk face and put a couple of bottles of soju in his hands and his backpack. Stuff like that, to kind of mix it up and, you know, change things up is
I put
fun.
a Cybernaut Milo in there. That's just the first Milo I saw, just for
Cool.
those wondering. And
Gotcha.
that's Archetype's website. You can see a lot of his stuff on there, like pretty much everything.
Yeah, so just kind of changing little details, mixing things up is always fun. You know, you'll come across different inspirations and, you know, want to explore out those ideas.
You both talked about how you had like the fallback point, like the where you can basically cut back in the process. Have you had it where you're making it, you get to a certain point and you've like learned a technique that basically makes you want to just redo everything? Does that happen often, or is that something that you that basically you just like wait and then store that info for like a V2 of a sculpt or something like that?
Depends on the amount of work involved in it. Like, for example, if it's like a total revamp of the whole sculpt, that would be a new version, right? So when you see people put out iterations, that's usually what they've done, is they've gone back and revamp the whole thing. Otherwise, you'll see it as like a addition. You'll see it as like a smaller reversion. It'll be the same sculpt, but it'll be noted as a revision.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've revised some stuff. For us, a lot of times it's incremental changes, smaller changes here and there. I think, you know, we probably have a little bit more flexibility than you guys do with that, you know, dealing with digital files. But yeah, I think I would say more so, you know, because we're still learning. I mean, we're, you know, a lot younger as quote unquote professionals than PrimeCaps. So a lot of those changes, those, you know, going back and refreshing the entire process, a lot of those of changes happen with tooling, for example. You know, the types of, you know, the type of silicone that we're using, the type of you know, bases that we're using to make the masters or what have you. That's kind of sort of you know, the stuff that we've been really iterating on. And
Those are the aha moments of like finally figuring it out to the point where you're like, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, you can really streamline it. There's like, you can either have a huge headache or you can streamline it with certain things like that. And you have to keep innovating in regards to your materials and stuff like that until you at least get it to a point where it's it's functional. Like if you're having silicone and it keeps failing, like we used to use silicone and it would like warp sometimes and stuff like that. It can't be doing that.
Yeah.
You can't be doing that.
Rely on your
so.
products. I want to ask. I don't know if this has happened for you yet, Mech, but we were just talking about the artist Black because he has this little monologue in one of his songs, but where I'm getting this idea from. But has there ever been a sculpt that you were like, I'm done with this, but people just keep demanding and keep wanting to do? Because now I'm sure I've bugged you about the Lurv a whole bunch, but I know you guys don't do that one anymore. But
the original,
the original Lurv,
yeah,
not the because you have the Lurvana now, which is new, improved. They're both amazing. But has there ever been like a sculpt where you're kind of like, I kind of just want to move on, like when a musician is being forced to do like, we'll just do exactly what you just did. You're like, well, I want to explore a little bit more artistically, and they're like, no, we want the same thing because that's what's gonna sell.
No, I don't have any burnout about that kind of stuff. I'm pretty easy about that. Like I get a lot of messages, and I really enjoy being able to talk with people and why they like it and understand that. And I honestly don't think I'll ever feel burnt out by that. People are like, "Oh, I'm sorry for bothering you." I'm like, "Don't worry about it, man." Like, I love the opportunity to get to talk to people in the community about the hobby and about our work and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's funny, like, people will message you and ask you just a simple question and then followed with, I'm so sorry to bother you, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, it's fine. Like,
well, some makers do get overloaded. Like it depends on the person. Some people are, some artists, they need that like solitude. Mm-hmm. So I'm totally understanding when some people it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And I can see people
it's
getting
introverts and extroverts. Like it's
exactly.
It's a bit. My favorite. I can't remember the person, but I know he would have been. I can't going. There's like because there's 3 people that have C and P in there. But he was like, "Hey man, I'm really really sorry to bother you. I just have like 3 questions." I was like, "Yeah, go for it." And he's like, "I'm really really sorry. Like, are you sure you're not busy?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm literally." I sent a picture and I was like, I had my feet up. I was watching my wife play Pokemon. I was like, I'm not busy.
I was like watching. I'm picturing you like twiddling your toes.
Pretty much.
I literally couldn't be doing less right now.
I could, yeah. I was like you are giving me a better reason to be like productive. So, after you send Pete feet pic, ask for $5. I should have. I mean, come on, yeah, feet pic should be free. Come on, but yeah, it's I've always been curious with certain that's a question I kind of want to ask all of them because you guys all have great sculpts and stuff, but then sometimes it's kind of like especially because if you're doing both of you, this is both of yours full-time gig, so is it beneficial? Where does the money lie in? Where you're going, okay, I don't want to do albumins anymore, I don't want to do kolkrabas anymore, but maybe that's what's keeping everything afloat.
I wouldn't honestly do it if I didn't want to. Like it's a way of expressing ourselves. It's it's nice to be able to share with people. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, honestly, the only sculpt I would feel remotely close to that way about is probably the Space Goblin, honestly, because it's just too many DMs.
Is it a nightmare?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But,
dude, sometimes you just make one and we have one that we didn't release that we were working on recently, and it like pretty much every part of it trapped a bubble of air, and I'm like, this is not gonna work.
Not worth it.
Right.
For those who don't know what the Space Goblin is,
yeah, right.
You may have recognized him on TV shows, but it's not the same guy. Space Goblin.
Yeah, it's for copyright purposes. It's what was it? We were watching a movie the other night. Was it the guy kept popping in? Oh, it was Austin Powers. And they're like, like with the Godzilla scene, and they're like, Godzilla! And he's like, but we're contractually obligated to say that it's not, or something. I don't know.
It's not.
But I totally understand with that. The ears on that would be really difficult to mold.
Well, so that one's actually hand painted.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
and
then,
it's roughly like, man,
oh, no wonder.
it's hard to count. Yeah, but it's at least like 6 hours a pop.
Yeah.
With
So you're
6 hours working on some. I've like
Yeah,
kind of. I have big hands but small fingers.
Dude,
but
you're-
6 hours.
your poor back,
Gosh,
dude. Just painting that for that many hours.
Imagine basically lubing one switch for 6 hours.
yeah,
Yeah, and then times that by like whatever hundred. Or...
yeah. We decided to do, because it's a great idea to do a group buy on that one.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Four in, I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Here's some refunds.
Yeah, cancel. No.
No,
You're
but
getting a monotone.
I think
Right,
I think
blanks.
what Frank said about how if you didn't love like a specific sculpt or didn't love what you were doing, you just do something else. I think that for me, because before I got into artisans, and understanding more of the process, and I think this is kind of like a moment that a lot of people have when they start to appreciate it, appreciate the artistic nature of it. I think that is the point where it's like, it's not just a product, right? Like you're not just making these to sell them. Like you're making pieces of art that you're sharing with everyone else. Like you love these pieces of art that you're sharing with the community, and that's going out. And I think that's like huge for some of the people who maybe don't understand artisans, and they just look at it as, oh, it's a expensive ass keycap. It's like, yeah, but it's way more than that.
No, for sure. Like, it's definitely a creative process, and you have to love being able to express yourself artistically and wanting to, share that art with other people. There's infinitely easier ways to make money if you're just trying to make money. Like, if you're just trying to make money, this is not the the career for you.
Oh God, no. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of history to it too, and like I think that's, as far as like the keyboard community goes, people who are interested in that kind of thing, it goes back. It's really, really cool to see the art form develop and to see where it's going. And I think it'll be really interesting. Like in in 50 years, there's like a museum with keycaps in it and keyboards that are designed. Chewy,
Yeah.
big picture, framed picture of Chewy on the wall, or Dave, I should say.
Doing this. Trying to hold a Baka
Yeah.
430 because that will be the newest layout in 2029 when we need our 800
Hype.
rows.
Hype.
But
You heard it here, everyone.
what I do really want to talk about is you guys, the artisan community is for those who don't know, it's like and now I feel like it's definitely kind of melded together more in the last 2 years, but the artisan community is like its own thing. Like there are people. I mean, our moderator Keebnoob, for example, she's more into artisans. My wife, way more into artisans than actually into keyboards. And I really love that. But the artisan makers are so friendly to each other. Well, I'm sure there's some days, but when isn't there a little bit of spice in the hobby, right? But you guys are always so helpful, and one person in particular who's grown to be a good personal friend is Hellbent and Hellbent Caps, and it's always cool to see. When I was talking to him, he was like, "Yeah, I'm from Dallas, which I've met him a few times in person now." And he goes, "Yeah, I spoke, and Frank from PrimeCaps was super helpful." I was like, "That's funny." I'm like, "I've known Frank for years now." Like, it's really cool to see you guys help each other. It's not viewed as you're my competitor. It's like we're helping each other.
Oh yeah, not at all.
It's a community, right? There's a big difference between some of the bigger keyboard companies and like the artisan makers. Like we tend to be for the most part smaller groups, and everyone knows each other, and we're all part of like a bigger group, so we have to take care of each other, really. I think that's, it sucks to see conflict in the community because it throws. We're here to enjoy the hobby. We're not here to fight. And I think that makers like us need to do our part to like make it enjoyable for people in that regard and help people learn to enjoy it themselves and kind of find the love that you found at one point for it themselves. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Mek?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. I was kind of thinking about the question from a different perspective, though, in terms of helpfulness. Like, when we first started out, we were obviously super green both to the hobby and to Artisan keycaps. I initially got into the keyboards first and then moved on to Artisans from there. But, Frank was kind of like a main point of contact for me personally, gaining as much knowledge as I could from him. But what was really interesting, and I kind of see this across different makers as well, it's not just Frank, where you want to give enough information and advice and
Yes.
Things to people who are starting out, to the point where you're not going to taint their creative process.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Like if you tell somebody
understand.
oh yeah, no, for sure.
Dude,
if you
yeah.
tell somebody exactly how to do something, you're actually robbing their creative experience of exploring those concepts and coming up with something completely unique. And it's really nice to see a creative community that's able to kind of hold on to that a bit more than some other communities. So that's important. We need to hold on to that, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of like, don't draw them the path, but at least tell them
Right.
the direction to go in, which
Show you the door,
Dude, I can't tell you how excited I am about technique and seeing people develop processes on their own
Yeah.
and push the art form forward. Because I think that's the essence of what keeps the train moving is like creative new things that it'd be so easy to fall into the trap where everyone just starts making whatever is popular. And it'd be a dead end, because then it just become toys or something,
just what's
And what's cool is if you don't hand your techniques over on a silver platter. Like I know there's probably countless times where we've tried to create something like similar to somebody else, and then through that process you find something completely different and super unique, and I think that's completely invaluable.
Yeah.
It's exactly
inspire.
It's the essence of it.
Yeah. And it comes full circle too, I'm sure, where it's like, because you're able to develop your own process with basic like little nodes of information from the other creators, you're able to create your own new way, which then could in turn inspire the makers that have been doing it for a long time to maybe like do something a little bit differently. Maybe they take something, they figured out this way to do this process, and now I can, speed up my production time, or maybe, get the molds to be a little bit better, a little bit more consistent.
Just the casting techniques. It's so cool to see something that you don't understand how it's done, because then you have to be like, okay, let's see here. What did they do here? Like, what is the process?
It's almost like an open challenge.
Dude, I fucking love it. I love it.
Yeah.
By the way, can we just start calling Frank and Lisa the godparents of artisans? Like
you honor me, but I don't think I deserve that title.
You're never gonna say, "Oh yeah, of course." But like the amount of people I've come across are like, "Yeah, dude, Frank from PrimeCaps is like half the reason I'm able to do what I'm doing now." I'm like, of course he is. Like this.
Well, I'm honored to be an inspiration.
Next time an artisan maker, I'm like, "Did Frank help you?" I'm like, "Okay, that's what I figured."
They're like, "No, I fucking hate him."
All these
sparkly caps.
It's about his poutine and Tim Hortons.
God, he slapped me with a beaver tail last time I saw him.
No, Frank and Lisa have been awesome. Honestly, our second release ever was a collab with PrimeCaps, and I had no shame. So I was like, "Hey, I'm this person that you've never heard of before. Do you want to do a cap together? Here are my molds."
Yeah. That was fun, man. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And it went smoothly. I don't think we had any real issues with it. It was good a good icebreaker for you into like the wild world Not to say that that was the reason you broke into, but I think it gave you a kind of a good initiation, and people got to see your work and and enjoy it. Yeah,
It's like when an up and comer opens for a huge act, right? It's like you gotta,
yeah.
There's so many connections between the artisan community and like music, and like
it's art. It's all art is like that. That's
Yeah.
just how art is. Yeah,
It's true.
you see that. You can see there's like a kernel of human creation in it that I don't think a lot of people are aware of, but it's like in everything. That's why I think people like art. You know, it's a reflection of each of our individual realities, and being able to share that with someone and make them like feel something, or it's wonderful. And I'm glad that everyone else out there can enjoy the hobby too, because it's very accessible for people compared to a lot of art forms, especially for young people. We didn't really have art like, people are like, oh, paintings and, but young people don't have something like that. So it's cool to see stuff like this coming up and like new art forms.
Yeah.
And it's accessible in a way you can get involved in it. You can start doing it, and granted, you could go and paint a picture, but I don't think it necessarily has the same effect on you as like being able to like go from the process of, starting out on a sculpt and then getting the final product. I feel like it's a little bit more rewarding because if a lot of these people that are getting into making artisans already love keyboards, so there's that huge connection there. Whereas like just painting a picture, you can't really like get the appreciation of others and share that with others in the same way you can with artisans, which is like, it's awesome,
Yeah, they're easy to mail.
Yeah, right.
It's a lot easier. One thing I want to shout out to Lisa, because I heard her say this like over a year ago. We were talking amongst ourselves in our D&D group, and is Jenly Bean, who does all the art for or 90% of the art for our channel. She was talking about wanting to sculpt, and Lisa just goes, just buy some clay. Which is like, that sentence alone it's so simple, right? It's just, we'll just buy some clay. But it like all she's trying to do is just say, you're the only thing holding you back is the fact that you haven't started. You haven't hit buy clay or go get clay, or like you haven't started. And I imagine that's kind of how it is. Just get started.
You got to punch clay. That's what I was talking about punching trees where people shit post to get points or whatever. You just got to punch that clay and just keep punching it. Eventually, it'll start looking good.
Like that's,
but on the same token, I think it's also one of those hobbies where you find out real quick if you like it or not.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The amount of investment into getting started is so minimal that like you just find out really quickly if you enjoy it.
You pay in patience.
Yes.
Really. Because that's one thing I don't think it's the learning curve on it is extremely steep. There's a lot to climb quickly before you can even cast functional keys. But once you get over the initial learning curve, it's like a whole vast ocean opens up in front of you and you can go in any direction.
Yep.
But yeah, it's good advice. I mean, just get a synth or whatever platform and put some clay on there and have at it. And if you don't like it, sell it or give it to your friend.
Yes.
Exactly. And Helbin says, don't buy the 5 pounds of clay. Maybe buy the sample kit, which probably sound advice for most people. Like if you're getting into something, start light, see if you like it.
I got a couple of those 5-pound blocks. They're like this big, and I've used like a little chunk of it.
So,
but also you might want to get the big blocks because just some molding supplies will never be available again. Like there's some materials that we use that we can't buy anymore.
Really? That sucks.
Yeah. It's freaky.
That's fun. I want to go into first we have one question from Cogs _. What did you guys do before getting into making artisans / going full time? Feel free to answer with as much or as little detail as you would like.
I was a photographer and I ran a big vape company. So I had a bunch of stores and a warehouse and a website, and then vaping. Kind of like I was really into vaping during the whole when people were kind of, it was like mom and pop's machining custom mods, they're called. I don't know if you guys remember that. Yeah. And the whole, I liked that. And Artisans kind of reflected that a little bit, or I should say keyboards, but not in the douchey way, thankfully. But yeah, I used to, and I was a photographer for years, and then I got into keycaps. Yeah.
For me, so I started off as a musician and then got into design. My last job was
OMG, it's
senior
Mek.
graphic designer, or just senior designer, I guess. Did everything. So yeah, marketing, design, stuff like that.
Good stuff.
Art. You find a way to express yourself in a different way.
Yeah.
And then I want to get into the artisans themselves. All right, so let's talk about your most recent sale, Frank, with the metal Boomin. If you guys haven't seen this, it is, I mean, no joke. I mean, it is a work of art. It's a very, very cool cap that, and he is showing it off there as it slowly, there it is. And boom, got there. So just very, very, very cool. Excited to see how those, I mean, they're all going to turn out great.
It's a multi-part end cap.
Burn like every part of your body with the metal.
Dude, I burnt my hands today. I have to there's a lot of machining that goes into it. So we're like refining the process. But yeah, they're hot metal cast, and it's like a multi-part end cap. But yeah. And it was a good sale. Like, it's pretty big. It's going to keep us real busy for the next couple months. Good. But aside from that, we're working on 420 for this month. Yeah.
Hey-o.
Speaking of which, we should give away a key.
We should give away. Do you want to give away a key right now?
When were we going to do it?
We're going to do it towards, I mean, we can do it whenever you would like. It's your key.
Let's wait. I'll do it. You guys, it's your show. I want to do what you guys want to do.
All right. We'll probably wait till the end. We do have some giveaways. Specifically, I don't want to spoil the surprise, but there are two artisans, specifically from you, Mr. Mek, that I want to talk about. First and foremost, I want to talk about how you got to experience one of just the greatest people in this hobby, Nathan Alphaman, but making one of the most unique artisans that we've seen, the Polybius Z.
Oh yeah!
If you guys have not seen this cap, it's like, be upset that you didn't get one because it's a fantastic one. So how did this come about?
Oh man, that cap was a lot of iteration. We went through probably 3 or 4 different completely different concepts before we landed on that, and then eventually we landed on that concept with the different shapes of the Polybius encapsulated underneath the skull itself. So those are actually like floating pieces, and I'm sure Frank's familiar with working with stuff like that and just the failure rates on casting.
Man.
That's
were you having so my question, and you don't feel free to not go into the process, but were those like preset in a mold, or were they driftable?
They were driftable.
Yeah, okay. Big failure rates.
Yeah.
Drift is one of the hugest headaches in end capping.
Yeah. And we got over that issue pretty quickly. The main issue was honestly bubbles. Like, you'll have this perfect cast, and then just like the tiniest little bubble next to one of the shapes, and it's like, God damn it, gotta throw it out.
Yeah.
So somewhere in a dump somewhere, there are basically 99% perfect Z Polybiuses.
Yeah.
So you guys come across a trash bag full of little.
If you guys want to stop by the shop and grab yourselves, a couple bags full of Polybius caps, feel free.
Someone's going to do that now.
Yeah, someone's going to
use them as diving weights, or
Cogs, don't tempt me. But no,
But yeah, that was an awesome cap.
It's
That was
cool.
a fun
and
It's a
I'm
good
glad-
cap, yeah.
I'm glad that like I love talking, working with Nathan Alphaman. He's a beautiful man. on
I
top
still have to
He
make our
is.
Polybius one. I'm like, fuck. I just like was like, oh shit.
You got time. GMK's backed up, so you got time.
Yeah, you got a
Yeah.
minute.
Come on, stay slow, GMK.
You might be the only person that's said this hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then the with the other one, your most recent cap has encapsulated Twitch and has captured the hearts
Oh, has it?
of lots of humans
Okay.
around the world. So if you guys haven't seen what the Pepe Hulk is, it is awesome.
It's a monstrosity in a good way, though.
Yes.
So I want to talk
yeah.
about how this came about.
Yeah, did this start as like you were just gonna joke and then you're like, wait, we should actually make this?
So, believe it or not, this is super serious. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, that cap started off as a joke in our Discord about a year ago. So that cap's essentially been in the making for about a year. Somebody had made an emoji of the Pepe head on top of the Kolkraba sticker and just made it blend together really well. And it's been an emoji, like I said, for about a year now. So we were trying to think about, what to do for April Fools, and that idea just kind of popped back into our heads. Like, hey, why don't we actually make this thing into a real cap? We didn't really realize the response that we would get from that, but it essentially crushed every record we've ever had. Like number of entries, the
Meme
amount of,
caps.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we were just having fun. Like if you look through the quote unquote campaign on Instagram, like we went all out and did like a crazy video just teasing it and whatnot, just really embellished the April Foolsness of it. And yeah, it was just funny to see people kind of flip out over the cap. Like I was reading through the comments that we got on the entries, and I can't even count how many people were like cap of the year, and it's like no.
Not this one, please.
Yes, yeah,
You're like low key, like in the back, like man. This
I don't
is-
wanna be
if
known
thi-
for this.
Yeah, if this is what people remember me for, the
Yeah.
aforementioned, in 50 years, if this is the cap that represents Archetype.
yeah.
But
No, I think it's it's an endearing cap. In all seriousness, it's got a weird appeal to it. It's so ugly that
It's
that I
ugly
want
duckling. It looks. I mean, you did an amazing job
Thanks.
with it, and I'm excited to see some of those pop up on boards soon.
Yeah, it looks funny on a keyboard because it's just like staring at all the other caps.
just got a
That
smug
the amount
look.
the artistic pictures people are going to take with the fact that it's
Yeah.
side eyeing so hard. So, guys, if you have questions for PrimeCaps or Archetype, please at Mechs on Deck ask the question. I know we had some questions earlier, like really early in the stream. Sorry we did not get to them. But if you guys have questions now, please at Mechs on Deck us, and we will happily get those answered as well. What have been some of your personal favorites? Like, can you pick a personal favorite, or maybe two or three that are memorable? I know this may be a little harder for Frank because you've done just so many albumins.
My most fun was doing the Wonder Boy, because I had two really good friends from the community came and visited, and we all like shot into the mold at once together.
Ooh.
So like we had like everyone's hands all full at once shooting, and I had to like conduct it. So you're like counting down. You're like 3, 2, 1, go, and like everyone, and then you got to get like the rates timed. It was really a lot of fun to do, and I mean it's obviously punctuated by being able to hang out with some fun people.
Yeah, that's good history behind it.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
He crossed the streams.
You did. It's true.
I did, yeah.
So, Mek, what about you?
Yeah, for us, I mean, honestly, working on Luna with PrimeCaps was a lot of fun. But that aside, all bias aside, I think what we did with Color Chrome was a lot of fun because, it was essentially not really a new sculpt, but the finish on the sculpt was a glossy finish, so that was new. The materials that we were working with was completely new, and the effect that we were going after we hadn't done at all. So it was a lot of newness, a lot of exciting things behind the scenes. So that was a lot of fun, and ended up looking really cool. Proud of that one.
That's dope. Yeah.
We have a question from the containment unit asking PrimeCaps, what was the motivation behind you creating WASD sets? Personal favorite.
Oh, that's a good question. The motivation
Fortnite.
behind creating WASD sets, I mean, I guess I wanted to. Well, I'll tell you right now, Cherry I look at it as a challenge for any artist and maker because it really pushes you to the limits of your craft in regards to your space. And I'm sure you know how that is, Mek. But when you get into tight spaces, it gets real hard. And man, doing Cherry row 3 like the ASD row is tight as fuck. So trying to fit your effects in there is quite a challenge. Aside from that, I mean, I just wanted to give people something to put on their WASDs so they don't wear out their sets. Everyone's got those glossy WASD. Ours were called Navigators, though, and we included row 4 as well to make it like a
Arrow compatibility.
like a compass, essentially. That's why they're called the Navigator set, is because it was supposed to be like a compass.
Very nice. Next up, we got Squid Octopus 1519 for Archetype. Why doesn't Archetype disclose the number of caps raffled? Just curious.
I mean, for us, it's not really about the numbers. I feel like, honestly, a lot of times people who tend to ask us for numbers are doing it for their reasons. And I could be completely wrong, but for us, it's just about the art. I mean, we try to make as many we can without degrading the quality of our caps. They're still limited. We're not making hundreds and hundreds of caps by far. Yeah.
I see why you choose to do that, because some people are in it just for the monetary and they need those limited. When you feel that someone's like pushing because they want it to be worth more for their aftermarket.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, I mean, hopefully it's not taboo to talk about, but, we've had one instance, well, probably a couple, but one that I can think of where we were doing the sale for SA Bliss. And so the sale was complete. We had sent out invoices, and then somebody contacted me like a day or two later saying like, hey, somebody wants to pay somebody wants to sell me these 2 caps.
Nope.
We lost him.
Uh-oh. He'll be back.
I'm on the edge of my
Yeah.
right into the good story. Oh, come. All right.
Sorry about
you're
that.
back.
You said someone wants to
where
sell
did I leave
me.
off?
Someone wants to sell me 2 caps.
Yeah, so they were trying to buy 2 Bliss Colcrabas, I think they were, for just an insane amount of money. And the caps hadn't even been shipped out to this guy yet. So I literally went, figured out who it was, canceled their order, and then offered it to the person that was trying to buy it at retail. Just because, like, dude, I don't need a middleman.
There it is. Give me the horns in chat. Both old.
I mean, I don't want people paying a crazy amount of money for our caps, just because like they really love the caps, and then for somebody to benefit off of that, just to take the cap and flip it. So
Yeah. The art isn't there so that they can make a living.
Yeah. Like I don't need a reseller, you know. It's
This
fine.
is like literally why I don't like putting too many artisan pictures on Instagram.
Yeah.
Then it's like a couple days later, it's like, so, and it's the lurv, Frank. I'm telling you, I can't post it.
People are so weird, man. I don't know. Some guy tried to buy my Discord account the other day. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Wait, what?
What? Yeah,
Like,
some
he
guy
PM'd
just
you?
like, he's like, could I buy your Discord?
Like,
Can I
thank
buy
you,
your
Frank.
Discord account? And I'm like, no. Who are you?
I've never
Anyways,
even heard of that. But yeah, it's just crazy
That's
to
so
see.
odd.
And that's, I mean, I honestly, I guess that would be your answer of like, you just don't like it doesn't need to be out there, right? Like, I think giving out the numbers of how many are made is like, it's an extra thing, right? And people are looking for to try to get like a 1 of 1 or a 1 of 2 just for like either money or clout. And it's like, that's cool and all. It's cool to be like, oh, I've got 1 of 1s and stuff. But like at the end of the day, it's like, just appreciate the art.
No,
You
for
know-
sure. And we do release our numbers when we do stuff for charity. Like recently did a set of 1 of 1s for Minterly's Mints for Health stream, which was an awesome cause. She ended up raising like 75 grand. So
Crazy.
Yeah,
big ups.
Hats off, Minterly. You're amazing.
Yeah. So for stuff like that, you know, I don't mind disclosing the numbers, but, and I'm not saying everybody does it this way. This is just how I kind of feel about it. You know, I feel like if you're kind of touting those low numbers, you're adding an extra bit of stress on the person who just really wants the cap, just for the cap,
Yeah.
you know? And I understand the collector point of view. I totally get that too. And it's not something that's out of the question in the future, but yeah, as of right now, that's sort of the main reason why we're not discussing numbers.
Well, you can't. You're having a difficult time determining whether or not what the person's intentions are with that information.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say for sure. I mean, we always have we you know, I totally understand like collectors trying to like track down caps. It makes sense. And even people who are looking to trade with other people, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
when you
get
get
it.
the flippers, it's kind of like yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it makes a lot more sense to have those numbers like after the sale, but I can totally understand. Yeah, it's like a rough situation. It's like a weird.
Well, to me, no one should get mad if someone doesn't release the numbers. That's 100% the maker's choice to release
Yeah.
the numbers. If they want to, great. If they don't, you can't be mad at them. And if they want to make some numbers public and some numbers not, you know, private, sure. Are you just trying to be like everybody else and put your glasses on? I'm scrolled all the way up, so I don't know if I'm missing something in chat. But, Stillowat asks, I love trying my hand at creative things like war miniature painting. However, what would be the upfront cost at attempting to try their hand at it? I assume trying their hand at making artisans. I don't know how much to play.
Yeah. Well, if you want to go all the way from start to finish, your costs are going to be. I mean, you don't want to cheap out on a pressure pot. So I'm doing it in
We've heard
Canadian
stories.
dollars, so this is going to be a little off. But you're looking at like $300 for a pressure pot, $200 for a compressor. I don't know, $50 or $100 for a synth. Maybe like $50 for clay and $50 for tools. And then another $300 for materials.
Yeah.
That's
Around-
probably what I would say
probably around-
to start.
Somewhere in the $1,000 range.
Yeah, I'd say for around
Yeah, that's about
$1,500
right.
you could probably get a basic setup with materials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
Yeah, and if you're doing hand painted stuff, it's pretty similar too. So, like now we cast all of our caps that eventually get hand painted as well. So
smart, very smart.
yeah,
Dude, you can go so much quicker, especially if you're doing a single shot versus like waiting for it to come out of the printer.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
So we had. Did you get the one from Theom? Okay.
Oh, I didn't.
It just didn't have Mechs the Mechs on deck. But what upcoming Keycap set is Mek most looking forward to collaborating?
Ooh, let me see what we have lined up. Sorry.
Proceeds to spoil new Keycap set.
The most that I'm excited about, honestly, it's probably gonna be Cat Space Dust, because that one's gonna be a multitude of things happening with that. There's gonna be a new sculpt. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Boom. I like it. Leave them wanting more.
Fancy. And then Atto Works Keycaps asks, what do y'all think about the difference between clay casting versus resin printing caps and the way the community looks at both? Interesting.
Well, they're just different, and people should understand that. It doesn't make sense to really compare the two. It'd be like comparing an oil painting to a watercolor. You know what I mean? They each are their own version of the art form, and it's, appreciate them for what they are. Really, I think is what it boils down to. I know there's a lot of conjecture about that, but that's kind of my feelings on it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just a different medium,
Yeah.
There's also a lot of crossover, so.
Yes.
Well, it's great that we have multiple things happen too, because now we have multiple. I think a lot of what is probably, just to relate this to keyboards, like if boards don't have a weight, people are like, well, where's the weight? It's like, well, it doesn't have to have a weight to be a good keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be I mean, look at the Bakaneko. There's one. I was like, this is a light as fuck keyboard. It doesn't have to have a weight to be a good keyboard. It doesn't have to be something to be good.
I know this is solid steel, but where's the brass weight?
I know this is literally called the steel TKL. Why is there not a brass? Yeah, it's I think all forms. If you can have your opinions, as long as your opinions are not, being toxic directly at somebody, that's just be nice. You can.
Yeah, I mean, you're allowed to have an opinion and to have preference. If you don't like, caps that are sculpted in 3D, then don't like caps sculpted in 3D.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Preach.
That's the beauty of this hobby, is that you are free to enjoy what you enjoy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think we should celebrate each other in that regard, People come at you with these crazy keywords and I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Like, holy shit.
Well, it's like, imagine where we would be at, like, not just in the art world, but like as a society, if every painting had to be oil on canvas. You couldn't branch out.
There's too much tits. Take them out.
Every building had to be made from wood.
Yeah.
Like no one ever was branched out and made metal.
Yeah.
The Renaissance would have never happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at least you could still be running around shooting people with a spear.
God damn, I'm glad I had this spear gun.
Anything we can do to convince either of them to make a Jeep sculpt for a caps lock?
For a stepped caps lock.
Stepped caps lock for like a Jeep, chair, not Cherokee, but
Jeep Wrangler.
Like a Wrangler.
Yeah, Cherokee could work.
I probably won't do that just because
Probably not.
I tend to like stay away from like IP kind of things like that.
Yeah.
Myself, yeah.
I think it's
I don't. No, I'm kidding.
So
we should do a station wagon for Lang's 70 set. What was that set called?
Yes.
The SAE set?
Oh, don't tell me. I'm not gonna look at chat.
I did really like the
No, Recall. It's
It is
Is
Recall.
it the
Recall.
Backspace to the Future? Do you ever see that one from Boom Snap Caps back in the day? It was a DeLorean.
Was it a DeLorean? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I really like that one. Yeah.
We always make the joke that the stepped caps looks like a Jeep.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
where
that makes sense.
That's where
Yeah, that
that
makes sense.
kind of comes
Yeah.
from.
There it is.
It would be pretty funny to see someone do that.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I want to say thank you because while we never expect things to be, you guys put in time and effort and hours and work on things to give to our community. And I've heard through whispers that maybe you guys have brought some items that our community might be able to celebrate.
Chewy, let's be real here. You demanded us do that.
I did. I literally was like,
It's true.
you have to give stuff away to be.
You guys, it's time for the giveaway. Yes.
Yes.
Everyone, you gotta blast off with me here. Come on, let's do it.
Please clip that. Someone please clip it.
Oh my gosh.
Let's get hyped. Oh, I see. Yeah. Here you got. They're saying it's too flaccid. You guys want some flaccid? Here you go.
Ooh,
Oh
there.
my gosh. Can you do the banana?
Oh my god, the mouth. The mouth
Oh
is-
yeah, the banana's awesome.
Oh my god. The banana's my favorite.
Yeah, dude, the banana, like, just because it like kind of like flops around like that, you know.
I am not a cat. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. Is there a well, I can't say it. Archetype. You've brought something along to show off.
Yes.
Do you want to do a slow
Am I
reveal?
going to show it, or are you going to show it?
I can't show it. I don't have it.
Oh, okay.
Slow reveal.
Everyone get hyped.
The side eye. There it is.
It fell.
Dropped it, cracks it.
I have another one. It's fine.
Oh no, you should. I hope it's got a scuff because then you can like look back and be like, oh, this scuff literally happened from him on the stream.
There you go.
It's Pepe Hulk and Mr. Banana Man. I've heard
Oh,
that
yeah.
you brought it. I can't.
Sorry.
Mr. Banana Man. Can we just change his name on stream? To say
Mr.
that?
Banana Man.
I'm
Forever.
fine with that. Yeah, I got it's codename Rosebud. It's one of our 420 caps. It hasn't been released yet, but we're doing a little sneak peek tonight. It's an albumin. If you wanna, do you guys want to? Oh, you got the picture up already.
Yeah, I threw the
Yeah.
picture up. I teased it earlier when we talked about I flashed it real quick.
just a little.
So
Hell yeah, brother.
we'll be doing those.
What are we doing? Are we doing marbles?
Unfortunately, I had some issues with marbles. I couldn't get it going. I couldn't turn it
I
on.
know, man. It's
But we can do them through Nightbot to where everyone can do it. Eric and my balls is correct. The balls just didn't want to roll today.
Yeah, I got blue balls now.
we'll get it. We'll get it up and
The
going.
only reason I came here was for marbles.
Yeah. You know what? We're going to play marbles on my stream. I'm kidding. I'm fine.
The
with
after party
Nightbot.
stream.
Yeah.
You know, as we say, and as we say a lot in Among Us, marbles giveth and marbles taketh away.
It does.
Chat their marbles.
But
There
we
it
can
is.
do them via the Nightbot giveaways, so that way everyone can enter and have a fair chance to win. Do we want to do Pepe Hulk as the key word for the Pepe Hulk itself,
Or do we just want to do Pepe?
or just do
Pepe is easier. Yeah.
Yeah,
just
let's just do
Pepe.
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 All right. So you just type Pepe in chat. PEPE, and you will be entered to win the
Oh, there they are.
cap. There you go. There's spam.
Wait
the
till-
Pepes.
Watch your viewer.
Oh yeah, well it's
Yeah, dude.
a fat like at least 30 is coming in the next 5-10 minutes. While the Pepes are coming in strong, we'll do sponsors during Archetype. We'll do partners during PrimeCaps. Our sponsors. You'll probably see those links fly by your screen as more and more Pepes go through. But Omnitype, you can go to mechsondeck.omnitype.com to check out GMK Blurple, very cool blue and purple set running this month. You can go to mechsondeck.project.link. They're running still one of the coolest, most unique sets I've seen in a while. DCS Delftware, some great sub legends on that set. So if you want something a little more unique, go check that out. mechsondeck.project.link. Cannonkeys.com/mechsondeck. You've only got one more day for the insane deal of $79 for a base kit of EPBT Aesthetic run by Mr. DD Decline. It's got all those kits are going to be made, so go check that out. He's also got GMK Fuji up there, as well as some other great desk mats and switches. So go check out cannonkeys.com/mechs-on-deck. And then, of course, kineticlabs.store/mechs-on-deck. We talked about the desk mat. He started posting pictures of the desk mat, so expect that very cool desk mat coming soon on that website. But if you need switch pullers, if you need lube, if you need storage solutions for all of your keycaps and switches, go check that out. And those are our sponsors. We'll get in. Hello, Lightning Keyboards. Last night, I couldn't sleep, and I didn't know you did a second squid build, and so I watched like 40 minutes of it on YouTube.
Yeah, everyone should check out Lightning Keyboards at some point.
Lightning's
Lightning is an old guard. He's been in the community he's helped. If you think that, like, for me helping artisans or whatever, Lightning's been there helping people learn every aspect of this forever, like you guys. You know. Yeah.
It's weird when I hear you say, 2015, but then some people are like, yeah, I joined like last year. And I'm like, I've been in for like 3.5 years.
Dude. I was thinking about the other day. I feel like when we first started, I felt like still really green to the hobby. Like I was just about a little over like a year and a half in to like building boards and like gaining knowledge about custom mechanical keyboards. And then now, like, with how the community has grown exponentially, I feel like an old man.
Right.
When I'm like looking at some stuff and I'm like, back in my day.
Pass the torch. Pass the torch.
Back when we had to desolder our own boards. If we
Back
wanted
when SA was popular.
SA was the one that was taking a long time, and GMK was shipping in 6 months.
Back
Everybody's
before the
stamps
hot
were
swap
wobbly.
That never
existed,
happened.
you were forced to stick with a key with
We
the switch.
broke our keycaps on box switches, and we liked it.
I used to use a dab of natural rubber in there.
We didn't have this DBZ lube. We used dielectric grease.
Grease.
Right.
We bought that on Amazon for $8. So there it is. How do we have a good chunk of entries? We have 129 in the chat. How many do we have?
We've got 85 eligible users for the Pepe. The Colcraba.
You have not missed it yet. So Pepe, Mechs on Deck just entered. We will re-roll. I don't think we can.
I don't think we can win. So
Okay.
we'll roll it
But
here.
if we accidentally win, we will re-roll.
That means I have a better chance.
The amount
Yes.
of times that I've seen Grindbox win something on y'all's
Dude,
stream,
I can't
I've never
believe it.
seen that.
Grindbox is a pro marbler.
He
Pro.
is. He is.
Yeah.
Someone in our community is going to figure out how to break that game to make it to where they win. It
Yeah,
won't
you
be
just
just
type
some
X-
random Twitch channel. It'll be our community. Someone in our
You
community.
gotta type !! rig. It's simple.
It's easy.
I thought it was Boost.
No, it's
Is
turbo.
that what it? Oh, you know, Boost actually works in certain game modes in marbles.
It does.
Does it really?
Yeah, and
Oh,
you can
wow.
set it up to have weight too. Although they took that function out,
Yeah.
so you could like pick the weight of your ball.
We really only scratched the surface of what marbles is capable of.
Well, if you do too much, then then people get upset because then it might not be fair. So Spit shine my marble. There you go.
Oh man. All right. We want to roll this. We got 95 Pepe entries.
Yeah, Cogs. There it is. He's got it. Exclamation point win Pepe.
Alex, what up? How you doing?
Crack the code. Oh, it's Alex. Alex. What's up, man?
Yay.
All right, let's go ahead and roll this one. So the winner of the
Streaking
giveaway,
Bison.
Streaking Bison. Congratulations.
Streaking Bison.
There it
Be
is.
your first child. Be a masculine child.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
Streaking Bisons. Congratulations. There he is. Whoa. Streaking and I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Streaking Bisons owns a squid, so you can put a Pepe on a squid.
Dude.
Man, that's going to be inky.
Very inky.
Well, congratulations, Streaking Bison. So next up, we've got an albumin.
Code word Bud.
Code word Bud. Hey,
Well,
Bud.
that's what people got to type into chat to enter.
Bud. Okay, so we'll set it up. We'll let you know when to start typing Bud. So if you're typing Bud
yeah.
now, it
No,
may
they're
not
good.
work.
They're good. Good.
They're good.
Go for
They're
it.
good.
You guys want to know the way to my heart? There you go.
An anonymous gifter gave
typing
out
boost.
5 gifted subs, so thank you. And then Betadol subscribed with a Prime sub, so thank you. Bud, B-U-D, just pretty much copy what 99% of everybody else says in chat, and you got it. B-U.
You can win this. Win one of these.
Yeah.
It's weird because I'm
That's-
looking at the
that's-
Discord call, and I'm like, what the fuck are you pointing at?
Just like tripping you out.
Alex Odos, for subscribe for 9 months. We have a sub, baby.
Little
Odos.
sub baby.
Woo.
That baby
Everyone who
came out
doesn't
with,
already know about Odos, go check out Odos. I'm sure you all
that baby
do.
came out with a mustache.
Yeah.
Dude, okay. I love the way it looked yesterday. The middle part, I thought it looked awesome. But the screenshot when I opened Twitch, like the little preview of Alex's stream, I like had to screen cap it and send it to Dave because I was like, total like dad mode in what he
Like,
looked like with the.
You were
the
a
middle part.
windbreaker away from being like a '90s dad at Disney World.
It looked awesome.
Wait, can you send it? Yeah, I'll send it on over to you.
I think I
Yeah,
said it to
now I'm-
B-U-E.
Now you got me all excited.
the face of the screenshot. It looked like you just like saw your child do something like magnificent, and you just have like this look of pride in your child.
He's tall enough to ride. What's that? What's the one?
Tower of Terror?
Tower of Terror. Thank you.
Yes.
I knew because you're going like this.
Yeah, I was like, it's up and down.
It's the international
The only one I know.
sign for Tower of Terror.
This is Tower of Terror. Everybody,
Makes me feel terror.
can you link it here? Absolutely. Yeah. Or Cyrus, if you want to pull up the picture, can you pull up the picture of dad hair Odos?
Yes.
Yeah, let me save it real quick.
Yeah, he was. I'm sure he was wearing his all white New Balance 502s. Maximum comfort. So, guys, if you haven't been here in the last 10 seconds, type BUD, giving away an albumin, code name Rosebud, but Bud in chat, BUD. Oh, there it is.
Let me make it bigger. This is what I saw. I logged on Twitch and I saw this and I screen capped it because I was like, I have to. That's too good.
Yeah.
The face. The face is
Are
too
you
good.
winning, son?
When it looks like, for those who watch, for those who've watched, what did I say last night? Fuck, Achievement Hunter. It looks
Yeah.
like Jeff from it. Like Alex looks exactly like Jeff from Achievement Hunter when he's got the 5 o'clock shadow plus the mustache. Like, I don't know if anybody watches Achievement Hunter anymore, but that's 100% what he looks like, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I have not seen it.
It's been a minute, so, but yeah. Do you want to do it, or do you want me to?
I got it. I'm
All
gonna
right.
roll with it. I clicked the button, and I'm gonna talk about our fantastic and wonderful partners. First up, we've got Zap Cables. Go to zapcables.com. Get yourself some of the cables that we swear by. They've got some retractable cables over there you can pick up now, as well as some DIY kits if you want to do it yourself. and they've got some cool Zap mats. If you want a little bit longer of a desk mat, they're not quite as deep as a normal desk mat, but they are longer, so it's a nice little change. And then let me see. I know they had the bumpers. I think might be coming back in stock soon, so keep an eye out for that. I know Chewy loves his bumper. And then next up, you've got Type Beast. You go to typebia.st. They're putting out newsletters again. They dropped one earlier this week, so get signed up for that newsletter and be sure to be voting for Mech Madness, mech.madness on Instagram. We're getting to the final rounds of the competition. There's lots of prizes up for grabs, so get your opinion in. Smith and Rune confirmed the Polycarb 165 is coming in hot here in a few months. Streaking Bison, thank you for the 5 gifted. Appreciate it, my dude. Smith and Rune Polycarb, the Smoky Polycarb, we showed it off on stream on Saturday. If you want more information about that, head on over to smithrune.com and get dripped up from head to toe in Smith and Rune merch. And then last but not least, what's up?
What do they sell?
You've got hats, you've got sweatpants, you got sweatshirts, you got t-shirts, you've even got GMK Cafe mugs and Smith and Rune mugs.
That's pretty dope.
You could be full head to toe Smith and Rune. And then last but not least, 3D Keebs. Head on over there. They got stabs, they got switches, they got lube, they've got tops for switches. One of the few places you can actually get tops for switches. They've also got something that I enjoy the name of, the big ass mouse pads. Get yourself a big ass mouse pad, and they've got some really cool switch mod stations, as well as our new favorite stabilizer lube, the XHT BDZ. So go check it over at 3dkeebs.com.
Wait, is that you think that's better than the Crytalk stuff?
It is a Crytalk
curious
variant,
about that too.
but yeah, it's much thicker.
Because I know that there's people who are like trying to clone Crytalk, so I was always wondering if that actually happened.
I think that probably has. This is like it's like super thick, so it's really good for wires, unless you're Chewy
cool.
and you use like Mega Man springs, and then you can just put it everywhere.
Hey man,
Holy shit!
98 gram springs, baby. Ooh.
Wow.
But yeah, it does have the consistency of like toothpaste, so it's super thick, but it's really good.
So it makes lubing easy then, really easy.
Foolproof.
Yeah.
Do you only use it for wires, or do you use it for the housing as well?
I use it for the housing.
I just use it for
Okay.
wires because it's, especially with the newer, Duroc stabs, they're so loose, and the wire just like over time it really rattles.
That's too bad.
And so this really helps a lot because it's so thick and it adds a nice like actual coating that's not really going anywhere. Whereas like 205, yeah, it's thick, but it wants to move around and kind of squeeze out over time. So yeah, the BDZ is good.
Yeah, Daft Prophet says better than dielectric. We don't know yet because we didn't know dielectric grease was going to be. We didn't like dielectric grease after 6 months because it collected dust and they dried out some, and so we'll find out. Who knows? BDZ lube could be the worst thing in the world here in 6 months, but for right now it's great, and it looks to be like it's going to be a solid, sustainable lube. But guys, how many people are we?
We've got 111 people who are entered to win by using the word bud in chat to try to win one of these albumins. So we still got a couple minutes left to get entered into that. So type bud in the chat.
I was gonna say, good call on having this in April because you really picked the goddamn best month of all year in Artisans.
It's an alliteration. It's alliteration.
I feel like this was planned.
Yeah.
Well,
Planning.
what's funny
Get
is
out of here.
I was talking to Frank about this like a month ago. He was like, we were looking at the dates because it's gonna be every Wednesday. He was like, man, 421. He's like we need to start figuring out stuff fast because like that's a busy month for artisan makers. I was like, yeah, you're not wrong. So
it's like Christmas for the keyboard
pretty
community.
yeah. funny. I've got the bear, the allegedly bear from CYO from last year's 420 drop. So,
Hell yeah.
but BUD, we'll roll it here in about what? Let's get a countdown.
Do you have any more people to read off?
No,
No,
More
that's-
sponsors? Okay.
That's
that's
all
it.
it.
That's it. We are good
I mean,
on
this,
our.
this stream in
obligation.
particular is sponsored by PrimeCaps and
Yeah.
Archetype for giving away some stuff. So,
Couldn't be supporting a better stream. You guys are awesome.
and check out Chat versus everything. Like honestly, Chat versus
Yeah, come on,
everything.
you guys. I'm lonely.
Chat versus everything is a great stream every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific. Is that the right time?
Yeah, it's it's Saturdays at 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. if you're Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very nice. So, well, let's go ahead. Let's give it a count. Oh, actually, no. Let's blast off to a countdown, Frank.
Oh yeah. Oh. Ah.
No.
Oh my.
There we go.
There it is.
I love it.
All right, we're going in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Oh, I'm gonna
2,
charge up.
1, and
Go.
the winner is
Fuzzin' for was it
Frozen Forever.
Frozen Forever?
Congratulations! If you want to type in chat, there he is.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks for everyone for coming out and saying hi to Mech me. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys.
Awesome. So congratulations to our winners. Please, if you guys are not a part, is it Frozen, like the number 4? Yeah, number 4 ever.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just writing it down just in case. Please reach out to Chewart Little in the Discord, and I will get you guys squared away. So, and we can, thank you. Got the message there as well. So, Frozen Forever, Streaking Bison, congratulations. What can we expect from PrimeCaps and Archetype moving forward? What's up? What's up next?
Well, we got a super ultra secret cap in the works we haven't shown anyone yet, which we're gonna work on and release at some point. Yes. I can't give any more details because you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us, we're super excited about, obviously continuing with making artisans, but we're also really excited about branching out into different keyboard related products. We've been sort of testing the waters with desk mats. Came out with Kronos, which is our artisan box. We're also diving into keyboards as well. So 2021 is going to be very exciting. We have some cool stuff planned. So
Congrats, man.
Dude, it's going to be
Thanks.
awesome. Super excited for all that new stuff coming out. But again, appreciate both of you for coming and hanging out with us and opening up
Hype.
the Zennies. Thank you, Zennies 007. Thank you for the Prime. Appreciate it. But opening up Artisan April with us, really appreciate that. And
happy to, man.
Oh, and a special thank you to all of you out there, because this community would be nothing without all of you amazing people. So thanks for
Absolutely.
being a part.
So
Yeah,
next
thank you guys
week,
so much.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Awesome. Next week, we got Terabyte and Frumpskis joining us. So excited to get them on. Don't know. I would, for the full transparency, I basically said, if you want to make a cap, make a cap. If you don't, please don't stress it. So it's a surprise to us, but if you want to learn more about some really awesome artisan makers, Terabyte and Frumpskis, and just to kind of go through the list, the following week, April 21st, we'll have Hellbent of Hellbent caps. We'll have Bad Chad from Bad and Bougie, and then Sody caps is going to be on there as well.
What a great lineup.
And then
Yeah.
on to finish and round out the month, Lividity, Bludgeoned, and Binge are all going to be joining us at the end of the month for maybe some spookier caps.
Dude, that's going to be, dude, what an amazing.
I feel like you guys had
ahead.
to do a lot of bribing to get that lineup.
Maybe.
You better
No.
do it or Frank's going to come and he's going to.
Frank. So, but thank you very, very much, and thank you guys for joining. It's always fun. I'm glad we finally got to have you on, Mech, and as Frank as always, thank you for. I think this is your third time now coming on the stream, so third or fourth.
Must be
fifth.
fourth, maybe, I think.
It's
yeah.
up there. So, and then
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I'll
Thanks,
do
guys.
my personal shill because we're not going to be streaming this Saturday. We are. If you are interested in buying a Baka 60 polycarp, it's going to be on 3D Keeps this Saturday at noon. So if you're interested,
Get a Baka.
Baka 60.
Get 2 of them.
Get 4. Get
You
8.
can, in a pinch, you can use them as shoes.
Exactly. I mean, who doesn't want some polycarbonate shoes?
Hey, man, you just predicted 2029.
Yeah. When are we bringing back the light up shoes?
Dude, I think I see a Kanye West Yeezy Baka crossover polycarb
Crossover.
edition.
You know, I wore
Yeezy.
my Yeezys today. So, but
Holy shit. Perfect.
So, guys, we're going to throw it over to Apiary in just a minute. She's building a very cool key cult. But thanks, guys. Let Air
Thank you.
sign it all off.
Yeah.
Take care, you guys.
Closing up
Take care,
tonight,
guys.
and we will be back on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central, and then, of course, Wednesday back for the second week of Artisan April. So we will see y'all again next week, and y'all have a fantastic rest of your week.